Hello, common people. This is Common Guy Reviews and I am your lovely host Peps. As the jolly season is coming near, I decided to tune in for some Christmas films. And this is of course a bad joke because I didn't really knew that this movie was based around that time. The Green Knight is 2021 fantasy adventure film directed, written, produced and edited by David Lowery. This movie is based on an old medieval story about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Writer of the original manuscript is unknown. Adaptation takes some freedom to make Sir Gawain a bit different, or a lot different actually, than in the original story, and I think that this worked pretty well. Story is focusing around the time of King Arthur and his round table and his kingdom. And the story starts like this. Sir Gawain, a man who just under the Christmas is spending his time in the local brothel. He almost misses the Christmas party that King Arthur is throwing, but hurries home, cleans himself up, dresses and is on his way. Their king invites Gawain to sit beside him, as he is a son of his sister. Party is suddenly stopped by a visitor who rides their horse to the center of the hall. This weirdly deformed knight, with a head of an oak and sunken eyes, delivers a letter that compels the queen to read it in his voice. He wants to play a Christmas game, where one brave warrior strikes the Green Knight wherever and however they please. Only rule is that 1 year after that, this blow would be returned in favor at the Green Temple. Gawain, without any honor or tale to tell, makes a split-second decision to be the one that strikes this knight. In all of his stupidity, he doesn't understand the simplest of the rules and beheads the Green Knight. Now he got the story, the fame and boasting rights, as well as the magical axe of the Green Knight. But now he got the burden to play the game. Story revolves around Sir Gawain's journey to meet the stranger and his destiny. Aside from the stupidity of Gawain, this movie's vibes were awesome. Story tied around the old tale written in the Middle Ages was a bold thing to do, but they really did it. We are captivated at the sight of the middle-aged castle and the life around it. How children play outside in the dirt. How animals go back and forth in the market. And knights armored with chainmails and armed with swords lay their watchful eyes over the people and outside of the kingdom. We follow Gawain through the wilds and plains as he goes to meet the Green Knight. We see many weird things along the way, but not too much to make it super weird. Mostly forest, abandoned huts and mountains. Also Gawain gets this whimsical fox companion that follows him everywhere. Large forest and fields, huge mountains stretching far and wide. Those scenes were immaculate, truly. Supernatural tendencies were established at the start, as we were introduced to some old women with blindfolds that seemingly conjured something. We also met Merlin, who is a really brief character, but a legendary wizard nonetheless. We meet ghosts and even giants, again really briefly, but this world is still full of wonder. Maybe because we aren't spending every minute amongst the supernatural, it is something that looms in the background. Like you see everything and start to think that because we know that ghosts, witches, mages and all that exist, it makes the presence of something bigger more prominent. And of course, the Green Knight at the start walks away with his decapitated head like nothing happened. So there's that. Story was about how one without honor or courage can face the terrifying world with it, or leave it and run without it, and what comes from it. This was not a fantasy where a brave knight defeats all the odds. This was a story which struggled to the end, and it fit perfectly. In the original manuscript, Sir Gawain does the things correctly even if he still beheaded the knight in a silly game. But this movie turned protagonist into a total loser, who not only fails to do the right thing but he actively works against it. If this movie was an RPG, you would fail all the decisions and do the bad ending in a record time. The only thing I despise is the character's stupidity, and that the movie points where to go and what to do, and the character did the opposite. It was really hard to like Gawain, and I don't mean this in a negative way. If the character in a movie, book or video game gets to you, it is a well-made character. And also I might nitpick because Gawain gets this magical axe at the start, but he never uses it, nor we see its magical abilities, but the one time that the Green Knight puts it on the floor and some green grass grows under it. And that's it. This movie truly was a tale from King Arthur's time, but without glory or proud knights of the Round Table, leaving only rotting world and bad decisions with us. This was not a magical fantasy world, it was a dark and gloomy one. But I enjoyed every minute of this film, it was a great watch, and I am kinda sad that I never saw it in the theaters. It just popped up in one occasion, played a day or two and disappeared, and I missed the frame because I didn't have time just on that specific weekend to go and watch it. This is a movie I can recommend to anyone, but especially if you are into the dark low fantasy, and like movies with either no good endings or a cryptic endings. But this was my review of The Green Knight, brought to you by Common Car Reviews and speaking to you, your lovely host Pepsi, and I'll see you in the next review. Goodbye!